Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into three really enchanting tales about magical gifts. But these aren't just simple stories. They're all about the tough choices that come with having power, and how things like honesty, kindness, and generosity, well, that's the real magic. So let's just kick things off with a question that gets right to the heart of it all. Seriously, think about it for a second. Some incredible magical power just lands in your lap. What's your very first instinct? Is it for you or for someone else? This is the exact dilemma our heroes are about to face. All right, here's how we're going to break it down. First, we'll set the stage. Then, we'll get into the stories of our three magical items: a bell, a pencil, and a cap, and the big tests they bring. And finally, we'll tie it all together at the end. Okay, let's jump in. Before we meet our heroes, it's worth taking a second to appreciate the simple, timeless way these fables are built, because that's what gives them so much power. The setup is classic, but it's so powerful. You have a young person, usually someone who's struggling a bit, and they get this incredible gift. But the gift isn't just a quick fix, it's a test of their generosity, their honesty, and their kindness. So our first story starts with a simple little bell. But believe me, it quickly becomes a huge test of family bonds and a really powerful lesson about what it actually means to share. We start with a boy named Shiv. He works really hard grazing cattle, but he only earns enough for basic food. And his family's wish for something, well, something better. That's where the tension in this story really begins. So after Shiv saves a tree from being cut down, he gets this amazing gift from a tree spirit, a magic bell that can make any food they want appear. But, and this is a big but, it only works once a day. And the problem starts almost right away. His mom and sister are so excited they wish for this huge feast, and they just eat and eat. But in all that excitement, they totally forget about Shiv. He comes home completely exhausted, and all that's left for him is the same old dry flatbread. And this is a really painful moment. Shiv is so hurt and angry that the next day he takes the bell and uses it just for himself. When he gets back, his sister says this to him, and it forces him to look at how his own hurt feelings have made him selfish too. This was it. This was Shiv's moment to choose. He could keep letting that anger eat away at him and just tear their family apart, or he could actually talk about his feelings and choose to forgive instead of getting revenge. And once they all admitted they'd made mistakes, they chose to share. Okay, our next story takes this idea even further. It asks, what happens when a gift that's meant for good gets the wrong kind of attention from powerful people? It really puts your honesty to the test. Meet Kushal. This kid loves to draw, but he's so poor he doesn't even have paper or pencils. Then one day, an old man sees his passion and gives him this incredible gift, something that's going to change his life in a way he could never imagine. So this pencil, anything he draws becomes real. A drawing of a mango becomes a real mango. A drawing of a blanket becomes a real blanket. But there's one very, very important rule. He can only use it to help poor people. Well, it doesn't take long for Kushal's gift to be challenged by greed and power. The king, a guy who already has absolutely everything, hears about this magic pencil and demands that Kushal use it to make him even richer. And this is Kushal's moment of truth. He's facing the king's anger, he's being threatened with prison, but he stands by the pencil's one rule. I mean, what incredible integrity. He refuses to misuse his gift, even when he's under so much pressure. All right, let's get to our final story. This one is about a gift that gives you knowledge and the huge responsibility and kindness that has to go along with it. So Sara's journey starts from this really pure place of empathy. She sees people around her who are hurting, and she just wishes she could truly understand what they need so she could be better at helping them. A cap seller gives her this kind of strange-looking red cap. And pretty soon, she realizes it grants her exact wish. When she puts it on, she can hear what people are thinking, their hunger, their worries, even their bad intentions. And here's the cool part. Sara turns this special knowledge into brave, decisive action. She doesn't just feel for people, she acts. So when she overhears a plan to rob her school, she doesn't just panic. Nope. She gets her friends together, they set a trap, and she ends up protecting her whole community. So when you put it all together, what's the common thread here? Well, all three of these stories are really building to one powerful message about how we use the gifts we're given, whether they're magical or not. This table lays it all out so clearly. Shiv learns that real sharing means you have to communicate and think about other people. Kushal proves that your integrity is worth more than any amount of money. And Sara shows us that empathy isn't just a feeling, it's about acting with kindness.
When it comes right down to it, these magical items, they're just metaphors, right? They stand for our own unique talents and skills. What these stories are trying to teach us is that the true value of our gifts isn't what they can do for us, but what we choose to do with them for other people. And that really just leaves us with one last thing to think about. Every single one of us has something special, a talent for making people laugh, a skill for listening, a knack for organizing. So what's your magic gift, and how are you going to use it to bring a little more honesty, kindness, and generosity into the world?